So today we are going to see some of the most important concept, like whenever you deal with some of certain kind of data. So you need to have some historical, or you need to store such a way that whenever a new records comes, you need to have the old record. Or if you have multiple records, you need to have something called active inactive. I'll explain one by one. So this concept is not, today we are going to discuss nothing about slowly changing dimensions. Slow What is a slowly changing dimension? Okay, so let's see, there is a scenario. You got one table name ID, name, address. Okay, so this is employee ID. Employee ID, you got 101, name as some Raju, and you got address as Hyderabad. So he is in Hyderabad now. So you got the Hyderabad. Then the same Raju, you might have transferred to other location. Okay, so I'll not write in the new record, I'll write it. So instead of Hyderabad, now he is in Delhi. Then whenever any other person who wants to see the address of Raju, you'll be getting Delhi, right? But there might be some scenarios where people might want to view the old data also. They might want to view the old data, like they want to view the old data, and sometimes they want to not only old, they want to view up to like history data, like 4 to 5. Let's say first he was in Hyderabad, next Delhi, and after that he was in Chennai. Okay, okay, next he was moved to Chennai, and next he was moved to Kochi, like that. So he changed three cities. Then some people wants to be, okay, what is the first city he was there? He was in first city, he was there in Hyderabad. Second city is Delhi. Third city is Chennai, and fourth city is Kochi. Okay, so you want to see, sometimes the people might want to see this. Okay, so in order to store the history of data, or in order to store the old value, uh, we have the concept called slowly changing dimensions. Basically, the slowly changing dimensions are categorized into 5 types, like 0 to 5. There's a type 0, type 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What is a type 0? Okay, we'll go one by one. So let's say I have a table, or else I'll take a new one, and I'll show you there. Type 0. Type 0. So let's say we got ID, name, address. This is our input, or else I'll write this way. So old record is ID, address. ID is 101, address is Delhi. And what I did, I modified this address Delhi to Cochin. Then what will be my output is that my output will not change. Okay, my output will not change. So I'll have the ID 101, address as Delhi only. Even though I change the address, it will not change. That is nothing but the type 0. So in the type 0, so you can make many changes, but it will not be reflected. You can change the address, or you can whatever you want, but nothing will happen. Still you can see the old data itself. The data will not be overwritten. So this kind of concept is called nothing but the type 0. You also very rarely you will be using the type 0. Okay. Now next you will have the type 1. That is the type 0. Next you will have the type 1. When I have the type 1, you got the ID, address, okay, same ID address. So now I got 101 Delhi. So now I have changed Delhi to Cochin. Then my address will be, the new address will be shown here. Okay, instead of the old address, the old address will be overwritten by the new address, and I can see the new address now. This is nothing but the type 1. So in the type 0, the data will not change, the data will as it is. Whatever like whatever query you do on that, like update or like update, it will not be updated. Still you can see the old data itself. Next, when it's come to the type 1, whenever you update a record, the old data will be overwritten by the new data. That's happened here for the type 2. So next we'll go for the type 1. Type 0 is the data will not be changed. Type 1 is old data will be replaced by the new data. Next we got the type 2. Okay. So in the type 2, basically, so the same thing I'll have here, ID name. Sorry, I'll have the ID address. Next, I'll have the ID address. ID is 101, address is Delhi. Next, I'm changing the Delhi to Mumbai. Okay, I'll change the Delhi to Mumbai. Alright, it's a little bit clear. Delhi to Mumbai. So in the type 2, what happens? A new record has been created. You'll have the Delhi as it is. Okay, and next you'll have as the new record as Mumbai. This is nothing but the type 2. In the type 2, the old record will be there, and at the same time new record will also be there. But what is the difference? Okay, the difference is nothing but it will show there will be a record called status, or there will be a column called status which says which one is active. Though whatever the record you have updated, the latest one will be the active, correct, right? Yes. All other records will be inactive. So let's say after this I have added one more record. I have modified this Mumbai also to some Hyderabad. Then I'll have 101 Hyderabad, but this will be active and the old record will be inactive. That's it. Okay, so same way here you will have the flag, or somewhere they will have the record as current, current. Okay, instead of flag they just have the current. So okay, current, no, yes. So instead of status they might have the current, but it will have some meaningful column name. Okay, it might be I and A inactive or active. Sometimes it may be no RS. Is the current? No. It is current? No, because either was the latest one, so that will be S. Okay, that is nothing but the type 2. Next we will go with the type 3. The same type 3 is that I'll have the ID here, address. So ID is 101, address is Delhi. Next, Delhi I am changing to Mumbai. Then what happens here? I will have the ID, address, I will have address old, or I will have old address, old underscore address, new address. Okay, so ID 101, old address will be Delhi, new address will be Mumbai. Okay, so unlike the type 2, in the type 2 you can store many numbers. Let's say they were updated 10 address records will be there. Which address is the latest one? That address will have the status as active if it is. If instead of status, if they have the separate column called current, it will have the Y, yes. Okay, but in the type 3 you will not have a separate record, just you will have the record there. You will have the old record and new record. So if I say something called, if I again convert the Mumbai to Hyderabad, if I transfer that, then I'll have the 101, I'll have Mumbai, then here I'll have the Hyderabad. Mumbai is the current, right, for the previous one, so it will not insert as a new record, just it will update the existing one. It will update this record to this one. Previously a new record has been inserted, but here It will not do like that. Now the Mumbai comes here. I'll strike this. So here in the Mumbai place, I'll have the Hyderabad. Okay. So the new address will move to the old address, and whatever you enter as new address, that one will be shown there. Yes. So you will not be having the Delhi data. Only you will be having only 2 records. That's it. Only the last one. Okay. So instead of again now let's say someone comes and says Hyderabad to some Cochin, then Mumbai will be replaced by the current address because Mumbai is the old one. So old one is replaced with the current address, and whatever you enter that will be that replaces the Hyderabad. So if you enter something Cochin, Cochin will replace Hyderabad will be replaced by Cochin, and next Mumbai will be replaced by the Hyderabad. Okay, it's a nothing but the type 3 dimension. Next you might have the type 4 dimension. So in the type 4 dimension is nothing but you will have the historical data. Okay, type 4 dimension is nothing but you will just have the historical data. Historical data is nothing but you may store this. So let's say I have the ID name, ID address, ID address. I have the ID 101 and address is nothing but let's say Chennai. So let's say you named the Chennai as Chennai to Delhi. So in the type 1 dimension you will have same as Chennai. Then you will have one more record for Delhi. Then this Chennai will have some data. The Chennai will have some records like this has been effective from effective date and end date, or it will have some dates when the record got inserted, when the Delhi got inserted, it will have something like that. Okay. So let's say if you change the Delhi to again Hyderabad, then a new record inserted as Hyderabad. That's it. It's a kind of like historical data. Type 4 is nothing but the historical data. So then comes with the type 5. Type 5 is nothing but combination of 1 or 2 dimensions. If you combine type 1 and type 2, it is nothing but the type 5. If you combine type 4 and type 3, then it is nothing but the type 5 dimension. Okay. So slowly changing dimensions are 6 types. Type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5. Type 0 means data will not change. Data will not change. Type 1 is that old data will be overwritten by the new data. Old data will be replaced by new data. Type 2. A new record is added. Record is added. And a flag says which record is the latest one. In type 3, a column, you will have 2 columns, old value and new value. That's it. But type 3 dimension, you can have only old value and new value. That's it. If you want to see something called 5 times what is the value before 5 values before this, you can't find it out. Okay, it will have only at least 1 or 2 values. Next with the type 4 dimension. In the type 4 dimension, you will store the data in a historical table. That's it. Whatever data you update or insert into a table, that every entry will be, you will be having that entry stored in the historical table. Okay, that is nothing but the type 4. Type 5 is nothing but combination of any one or more types. Now if I see here, so we'll go one by one. So this is a type 1 where even though if you update it, okay, not this one. This is a type 0. Even though if you update, it will not update. Next, if you see the type 1, you update it, it will the new value will be replaced by the old value. Sorry, old value will be replaced by the new value. Type 1. Next, if you go to the type 2, in the type 2, okay, whenever you add a new value, whenever you have an update record, whenever you update a record, so a old record will be there and new record will be there in the destination. So old record will be having some flag saying that it is inactive, and new record will have a flag something saying that it is active. Type 3. So same as at type 2. Type 2 you are inserting a record, but type 3 you will have some columns where it will show which column is a new address or which column is an old address, but it can't track more than 2 or 3 levels. Okay. Next, type 4 is nothing but it will store the historical data. That's it. Type 4 is nothing but it will store the historical data. Okay. Type 5 is nothing but combination of 1 or 2 dimensions. Then that is nothing but the type 5. But very most of your like in the working scenarios, you will be using type 1, type 2, type 3. They are most commonly used. Okay. So everyone is clear? Okay. Yeah.